With the 200th anniversary of the Battle of Waterloo on the 18th of June, that was the battle that saw Napoleon defeated by the Duke of Wellington, leading the Allied army, we're better to mark the occasion than here at the Hero of Waterloo pub in the Rocks. It's a fine pub with sandstone walls, the oldest existing pub in Sydney. There's log fires and fine ales. This pub will be the centre of the celebrations to mark that anniversary. But it's also a pub of a few surprises. One of those surprises concerns the story of convict Anne Kirkman.
I am the ghost of Anne Kirkman. I was murdered here in 1849 by my husband. I thought he loved me. Turns out he loved many women, so much so that he sent me to my death by pushing me down the cellar stairs.
We're downstairs here under the main bar in what used to be originally the kitchen. Now it's something of a museum. According to some of the locals, and who knows, it may be after a beer or two, but the staff say it as well, that now and again the ghost of Anne still plays to this day on this piano. Now, actress Sarah Simpson, you're part of these celebrations for the 200th anniversary of Waterloo. Tell us a bit more about what we know about Anne, if you will.
So it's believed that she still resides in this pub since 1849, and there have been some sightings of her. Women have come running out of the women's bathroom and screaming because they've seen a reflection of another woman in the mirror, a woman wearing a pretty dress and her hair tied back tight. Another thing is the owners who live upstairs, they sometimes at midnight can hear this piano playing. And when they come down to see the piano, there is nobody here.
It's nice to think that perhaps she's here in spirit at least. Back over here to the fireplace, there's two very interesting, if not decaying, posters. This first one is about the bubonic plague, which swept through the Rocks in 1900 and in 8 outbreaks claimed 103 lives. The poster says that anybody who finds rats in unusual numbers must immediately report it to the officer of police. Anyone who's trying to buy a house will find this interesting. Land in New South Wales may be acquired at very favourable terms, if only it was so now. And finally over here is a rather interesting tunnel. It connects through from the pub to the wharf on the harbour. Sadly, it's sealed up now for safety reasons, but it served two purposes. The first was bringing rum from the wharf back to the pub by smugglers, but the second, rather more sinister purpose was to supply men to the ships. Ships would come into harbour and some of the crew would drift off and disappear and never be seen again. So the captain would pay a backhander to the landlord upstairs, who would slip them a Mickey Finn. The drinkers in the bar given a drink laced with something to get them drunk. Then in the night they'd be brought through the tunnel out to the wharf, and they'd wake up in the morning shackled on board ship, ready to serve, like it or not. You can smell the history in this place.